We are back and better than ever. Welcome to the Enhanced Talent Podcast, wherever you may be and however you may be listening. We appreciate you stopping by. I am your host, Brock Fluker. I'm joined by Chris Kirby.
Finally, we're able to record.
Yeah, we've been sitting here for like an hour trying to fix stupid stuff, but we're here now. We are here. And we have some AEW All Out Predictions. We have Enzo and Cass coming back to WWE, or not, apparently. We have the Fiend Bray Wyatt challenging for the Universal title at Hell in a Cell. And we will re-pick our original predictions from the King of the Ring.
Because we both suck.
That we failed miserably at. But we've already wasted enough time today, so we should
be wrapping it up by now.
We're going to get right into things in these all-out predictions.
Okay,
this Saturday in Chicago, place that Chris knows very well.
Not really.
Not really.
No.
At least Illinois.
Yeah, I'm from like 2.5 hours south.
Yeah.
I've been there a few times.
Okay. Yeah. So, all out Saturday nights. We've got 10 matches on this card to go through.
Oh wow!
And let's waste no time. I mean,
10 matches. It's going to be an awesome night.
So, what are you going to be looking for from this show?
I'm going to look for them to step it up. I don't want to see the same thing we've seen the last 2 or 3 shows.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're going to just get complacent and they're going to turn into WWE 2.0.
Yeah, there's definitely, like, I'm looking for that double or nothing vibe that they had on the first show.
Yeah.
And I would like to see more fleshed out characters. People that are definitively heels and definitively baby faces.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Instead of a lot of the middle grounds that is going on.
I mean, I don't mind the middle ground, though. It just means they can feud with anybody.
Yeah.
Without having to be one side or the other.
Yeah. I guess that might be the new way of doing it, honestly.
Well, I mean, if they're going to try and make it about wrestling, you don't need to be a face or a heel. You just need to go out there and put on a show.
Yeah.
I mean, the stories are nice, but I just want to see some good action. I don't care if you hug it out or spit in each other's face at the end. I just want to see a good match.
Well, we'll go through this card, starting with the 2 pre-show matches, I believe, are announced.
Ooh, 2.
The Private Party of Isaiah Cassidy and Mark Quinn versus Angelico and Jack Evans.
Ooh.
Now, Private Party was in that multi-man tag match at one of the last shows, and I remember really loving them.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with Private Party. I'd like to see them get built up.
I'm going to go with the other ones.
Angelico and Jack Evans?
Because I remember them from a previous show as well that I liked.
Yeah.
So I'll go with them just to be different. Because I could go for either one.
Yeah, I didn't really care for Angelico and Jack Evans much.
And we don't really know them yet.
Yeah, we're still getting...
That's what makes this even better, because we don't know what we're doing. Or what we're... who we're talking about, really.
Yeah. And we have the 21-woman Casino Battle Royale.
Oh, I know who's winning that easy.
Which, I did have the names pulled up, but since I restarted the computer, it's not there anymore.
Oh, I know who's going to win.
Okay.
Me.
What?
21 women in one ring? Come on.
Why are you going to do that?
Because I'm a guy.
Alright, so... my pick is going to be Britt Baker.
Think so.
I think that they're building... They seem to be possibly looking to build around her. And we're not sure who the opponent is going to be either, because the winner of this gets a title shot. But we don't know who it's going to be against, or how they're going to decide that yet. There's another women's match on the show, but I don't know if that's to decide the number 1 contender. But that one's Riho and whatever the other girl's name is.
Oh, the other Japanese girl?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't remember what her name is.
I'll get to it when we're there. But Awesome Kong will also be in this, so she's a possible one.
Yeah, but I can't see her winning because you would think they'd want a full-timer to win.
Yeah.
And nothing against Kong, but she's just not a full-timer.
Right. And Nyla Rose is another one I could see winning.
I could see that one. I could see her winning.
Even though they've had her lose in every match she's been in.
Oh, yeah, but they're just getting started, though.
Yeah. But, yeah, I'm rolling with Britt Baker. Who do you have?
I really don't know. I mean,
Jazz will be in this, too, I remember.
I mean, yeah, Britt Baker is a good one, but...
But Jazz won't win.
No. I don't know. I may have to actually wait just to see who's all in it.
Yeah, there's 10 announced so far out of 21.
Yeah, see, it's still kind of early because we don't know who all's going to be in it.
Well,
I mean, for all we know, there could be a legend coming from a different company that might win it. They just signed.
Get the Wikipedia page up so I can
I'll pull it
read
up.
out the names. I've already got it.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah, but we'll keep rolling. Luchasaurus, Jungle Boy, and Marco Stunt versus SoCal Uncensored, Christopher Daniels, Frankie Kazarian, Scorpio Sky, and a 6-man tag. This should be a fun match for sure.
Yeah.
With Jungle Boy and the 10-year-old child Marco Stunt, which I'm sure will infuriate many. But I'm going to go with the Luchasaurus team. Who do you have in that one?
Oh, I gotta choose the Luchasaurus. You have to.
It seems like SCU is being used more to get the other guys over.
They're being used to enhance.
Yeah. Alright, so to go through the names that are announced for that Battle Royal, we have Nyla Rose, Britt Baker, Ali, Brandy Rhodes, Teal Piper, Ivelisse, Jazz, Big Swole, Sadie Gibbs, and Awesome Kong.
I'm gonna have to wait till I get more names.
Well, you gotta pick something. Well, we can't wait.
I pick one that isn't listed.
well, you gotta give me a name. You can't just pick TVA. That gives you 11 possible winners.
Fine, I choose vacancy. Fine, give me Brandy.
Brandy Rhodes. I could actually see that too.
I can just...
I hope it doesn't happen.
I hope not, but I can see it.
Yeah. Alright, and we both have the Luchasaurus team. Then we have Riho versus Hikira Shida.
Yeah, one of them.
Yeah. I will just say Riho.
Yeah, because I can say that one.
Even Britt Baker got them confused, so
yeah.
It's not just us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I like they're both fine, like, but I don't know. I just haven't really been given much of a reason to care for them, and I don't. That triple threat match or whatever they did with Nyla Rose, I really hated.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll just go with Riho.
Yep.
And then we have Darby Allin versus Joey Janela versus Jimmy Havoc in a triple threat match. This one is going to be a cluster, considering we have Joey Janela and Jimmy Havoc, who are both the hardcore deathmatch sort of guys.
Yeah. And
Darby Allin, who is willing to kill himself for this show, as we saw in the match with Cody. And so I could see this going all three ways. So who do you have on this one?
I'm gonna go with Darby.
Okay. I'm gonna go with Joey Janela.
That's a possibility too.
Yeah. But I don't know. I'm between either him or Darby. I feel like they're putting a lot into Darby, but I also feel like he's the type of guy that they can have take losses and still do what they want with him.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Then we have the Lucha Bros of Pentagon and Phoenix against the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, in a ladder match for the AAA Tag Team Champions.
Well, we know the Young Bucks won this. Plain and simple.
And why is that?
Because they're like top dogs in the company. They're going to win the first time.
Yeah, but being that it's for the AAA Tag Team Championships.
Well, that's true. It's not the AEW.
Yeah, which I don't really need to see the AAA Championships in AEW personally, but like they're gonna do it, and I have the Lucha Bros winning because the Young Bucks have already beaten them twice in 3 shows. One was the 2-on-2, the regular tag, and then they had the 6-man with Kenny Omega.
Yeah.
They got to give the Lucha Bros something. I'll take the Lucha Bros.
I'm going to go with the Young Bucks.
Alright. And then this tag team match is for the first round bye in the tag team tournament. The best friends of Chuck Taylor and Trent Beretta going up against the Dark Order, the gimmick that I don't really care for, of Evil Uno and Stu Grayson.
I gotta go with the best friends.
Yeah.
I wasn't impressed by the Order when we saw them in the ring, actually, and I wasn't impressed, so I'll just go with the best friends.
So I'm gonna go with the Dark Order, not because I want them to win, but because I think the first round bye is something that you'd want to give to a heel team, and have the babyface team have to go through the whole thing while Uno and Grayson, maybe they win because they're minions or some shit.
Well, I could see that, but that's also a WWE way of thinking.
It is.
And this isn't WWE.
Hopefully not.
So, I'm hoping you're wrong.
Yeah, but either way, I think it's a heel thing to have the heel team get the bye so that they just have a week off.
Yeah, I mean, I see it. I can see it going that way.
Alright, and now we have Cody Rhodes, or just Cody, versus Shawn Spears with Tully Blanchard. And the gimmick in this match is that, and I've actually watched all of the Road to All Out on the YouTube channel that they're doing.
Oh.
And so the thing with this match is that each participant, Cody and Spears, are allowed to have one representative at ringside, and Spears is Tully Blanchard. And then the question is, who will Cody's be?
Brandy.
It could be. That would be pretty vanilla, though.
Well, it's kind of obvious. I mean, who else could it be? Who else would it be?
Well, it could be MJF, who is good friends with Cody. And an idea that is not mine, but I'll run with it anyway, is that Cody's representative could be Arn Anderson.
Ooh.
And the idea, and it's from a Solo Monster for full clarity, but I loved it so much, is that Cody would come out with Arn Anderson, but in the end, Arn would screw over Cody and go back with Tully and Spears, because the Horsemen always screw over the Rhodes.
Oh. Now that right there is just a beautiful television show right there.
Yeah, but apparently it might not be possible because Arn's severance with WWE might not allow him to work AEW yet.
Oh, he may not be enough time yet.
Which I don't know if it's the same for agents, but for wrestlers it's always the 90-day no compete.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's that same time, but it would have had to have been more than 90 days since Arn got fired.
Well, how is that possible? Look at Moxley. He didn't wait 90 days after.
Yeah, but he wasn't fired. His contract.
Oh, well, that's true.
It's only if you're fired.
Gotcha.
That they do the no compete.
Okay. Well, has it been 3 months?
I would think it has been.
Let me ask.
It's been a while.
Let me ask Google. Well, let me type it into Google.
Alright. We have, speaking of Jon Moxley, he is, of course, out of All Out with the MRSA infection on his elbow that he will have to get removed, and he was unfortunately unable to make it to this show. But in replacing him, they got someone who I am possibly even more excited for. We have Pac, the former Neville, going against Kenny Omega.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that, just because I like Neville.
Yeah, that I always thought he was really underutilized
yes.
in WWE. And just everything I've seen, he just looks so good.
Anderson was fired from WWE February 24th.
Okay, so that's like 6 months ago.
Yeah, so it's well over 3 months, so it could happen.
I don't know if it's different for...
I don't see why it would.
For him. I mean, if he's still getting checks from them as part of some sort of reference,
yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, if there's no asterisk at the end, it could happen.
Yeah. But, back on Pac and Omega. This one is a hard one to predict. Because, the original reason, like, Pac was supposed to be at the Double or Nothing show, but they had creative differences, is what it was said to be, and he ended up not going. Now, he's, and I guess one of the things was with, he was working for Dragon Gate at the time, and he was undefeated there, and their champion. And it was theorized, at least, that he didn't want to lose on Double or Nothing. But that's just conjecture. No really telling if that's the case or not.
Okay.
So, you would think that with Pac agreeing to go, that he would be the one winning.
You would think, but I'm seeing the other side. I'm seeing Omega winning.
Yeah, and that's the other side of it, is that Omega lost to Jericho on the first show.
Yeah.
Then he had a tag win, and then he beat Shima in the other show.
So really, he's had a win and a loss and a tag win.
And you have to think of it too, is that they're gonna go back to Omega versus Moxley when Moxley is back.
Yeah, but that could take a little time.
Well, he says that he's going to be ready by October when they go to TV, but no telling. But
yeah.
Either way, you would think there too that you would want to keep Omega strong going into that match. So,
but they could let him lose and build him up on the next pay-per-view in September.
Yeah, this is
if there is one.
Yeah, this is a tough one to call. Well, no, I don't think there is one in September. It doesn't.
I haven't heard of anything.
But I'm gonna roll with Pac, just because the old wrestling adage is that if someone gets inserted into a match, then that person has to win no matter what.
Hey, look at Kofi.
Because if he doesn't, then it makes it seem too predictable.
Yeah, just for that, I'm going to have to agree with you and go with Pac.
Oh, you changed yours.
I did, because what you said made sense.
And the main events for the first ever, the inaugural AEW World Championship.
Cody. I don't know.
Cody ain't even in the match.
Oh, okay.
It's Chris Jericho versus Adam Hangman Page.
Right. I just figured, with Cody being, in charge, he'd be the first one to hold the title.
He's just going to insert himself in the match.
It's going to be a triple threat. We just don't know it yet.
Like Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania 9. Jericho and Omega.
I don't see...
This is, there's definitely people on both sides of this. There's the one side that says that Chris Jericho is the most well-known name in AEW. You want him to be have the flagship and carry that into going into TV. And then there's the other side that says that Chris Jericho is also the embodiment of a WWE guy. And to put the championship on him might seem hypocritical of what AEW is trying to do.
And I could see that more because, it seems like they're trying to be total opposite of WWE.
Yeah.
Which, so far I can't say they've succeeded totally, but if I can't see him giving the title to Jericho. One, he is a part-timer with AEW. He's not full-time. But two,
at least as
of we know.
Yeah,
anything can change.
Well, I don't think he's going to be wrestling every week, but I expect him to be on most of the shows.
I don't know. I think I think the show is about wrestling, and they're going to want more wrestling, not people talking. So I'm going to have to go with Hangman.
I'm going to go with Jericho. And I think Jericho, to me, is the right choice.
I don't.
And I don't think he needs to hold the title long, but I think going into the TNT deal, to have a recognizable name like him, and then you can use that to build up Paige. If you want to do a rematch, you could have anyone chase him and beat him within the first couple of months. Like, there's Pac, Omega.
I mean, unless they're planning on him dropping the title like the first TV episode.
Yeah, I mean,
but it'd have to be the first episode. He'd have to drop it.
The first title defense, I believe, is on the second TV show. Second or third.
Okay, then, yeah, I'd say give it to Hangman.
Yeah, I'm still going to roll with Jericho.
I can't see him putting it on a WWE star that just came from WWE.
Right.
Just like they wouldn't put it on Moxley right now. Even if he was in the match.
Yeah, and I think he's someone that will eventually have it.
Oh, I know he will. But I think it's too soon. They both just left WWE. It's too soon. They're going to... Oh, well, of course, they're a big name in WWE. Of course they're going to get the title.
Yeah. I don't know if it helps that Jericho has been a lot more anti-WWE since he's left.
Well, a lot of people get that way.
Yeah.
After they leave. So, I mean, I take it with a grain of salt. Because you don't know if it's kayfabe or real.
Well, some of it is definitely Jericho being
Yeah, some of it is, but you don't know how much of it.
Right.
So, yeah, I've got to go with Hangman.
Alright, well, that is all of them. We actually disagreed on a lot of them.
We did, more than usual.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you could tell the difference between AEW and WWE.
But I'm sure me and you will talk about the show next Thursday. I'll have the review on the YouTube channel.
You do that, what, Saturday night?
Saturday night, Sunday morning-ish. But, yeah, that'll be a hell day, just because I'm going to be exhausted.
Oh, yeah, because you got to work Saturday night, too.
Well,
Saturday.
Work late on Friday, and then in the morning on Saturday.
Yeah.
So, I'll be exhausted. But
yeah.
I'm still going to bring it. I'm still going to do it. And that will be up on the YouTube channel Saturday night going into Sunday morning.
Nice.
And I guess we'll go through our other few news topics as we close out here.
Well, let's not close with the one tag team. Let's do them next.
Okay. Do you want to talk about Enzo and Cass?
Yeah, let's get it out the way because I don't want to hear it.
Alright, so... Dave Meltzer reported today that WWE had contacted Enzo and Cass about returning to NXT to be, quote, top stars of the brands going into the TV deal with USA that will be debuting in just a couple weeks, September 16th.
Yeah,
I believe is
what,
the
3
debut.
weeks?
Yeah, just a little over 2, but so, after that, just before we started recording this, in fact, Meltzer tweeted that WWE, I don't know if he said that they had not contacted them or they had stopped negotiations with them or whatever, but he said that it doesn't look like it's going to happen.
Good.
So, we don't know if that could change again.
I'm surprised they didn't try and go to AEW, honestly.
I don't think they'd fit, honestly.
I know they said they didn't want to take a lot of WWE stars, though.
Yeah, I don't think they're what AEW is looking for.
Nah, sure, I don't either. Send them to Impact. They're the ones that usually take WWE former stars.
The thing is that I think that the right place for them and the right crowd for them is the WWE crowd, the sports entertainment sort of thing.
Yeah,
because they they fit in more there than they do in indie wrestling, I think.
And I agree.
Indie wrestling is so much more about work rates and having
paying your dues,
long matches, and all sorts of stuff. What WWE is more about is the personality, the larger-than-life sort of feel.
Yeah.
And I think Enzo and Cass, for a time, definitely had that.
Yeah, I think it went to their heads. I obviously don't know everything that happened and why they got fired. Mm-hmm. But I think it went to their heads and they just got ahead of themselves.
Yeah, I mean, Cass is, they're two different stories, really.
Yeah, I mean, I know Cass even come back and said he deserved to be fired.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is that Cass... And I give a lot of respect to Cass with the interviews he's done since he's gotten fired. He said that, like you said, he deserved to be fired, and that, he had... it was a depressing time for him.
Yeah,
really.
I saw it. I didn't watch it, but I saw it on YouTube, a clip of him talking about being depressed after being fired.
Yeah, and now it seems like he's gotten himself in better shape mentally and physically. And, I never really thought much of Cass as, a single star. He just seems like the guy that I'm tall, so I get a push. But I always liked the Enzo and Cass team, just because they worked well together.
They did,
because you had Enzo as the hype guy,
the mouthpiece,
and then he's the one that gets beaten up all match until he gets the hot tag to Cass.
Yeah. Now, the only way I disagree with that is if they hold off and bring Cass back in a couple more years, he could come back like Drew McIntyre did. I don't mean the exact way, but I mean hit the gym, come back ripped, built, strong, mentally ready to take over.
Right. Well,
and I don't mean follow the same footpath, but
for him to do that, I think he definitely needs to work more on the independent circuit like McIntyre did.
Yeah, and that's true.
And just McIntyre improved drastically in the ring from his time away from WWE.
Yeah, I remember when he was in WWE the first time. Oh my God, it was horrible.
Yeah,
it's like Jinder Mahal.
He would have little moments where you could see the potential, but it was never consistent.
Well, but when he came in as the chosen one,
right?
Which I think went to his head.
I mean, even if it didn't go to his head, it's a tough spot to be put in.
Because
the expectation from there.
Yeah, I mean, the owner of the company just told you, you're the chosen one.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, there's a lot of expectations.
There's a lot of pressure there.
Definitely.
But, now he's come back, and, I don't love the way they're using him, because I feel like he should be more in the main event heel spot. But either way, he has job security now.
Yep.
He's going to be there as long as he wants to, and he's always going to be a part of something.
Yeah, and I mean, you may not like him as a character, but as a performer, it's awesome.
Yeah, but Enzo is a different story too.
Yes,
because you see, I was one of the few people I feel like that liked the Enzo as Cruiserweight Champion run.
I didn't care for Enzo when he was away from Cass.
Right.
I just didn't care for him as a singles wrestler. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I don't know. I just didn't like it.
No, I think yours is the majority opinion. I'm more of the outside one.
Yeah.
But I always liked it just because it was different, and he was just the Enzo character, and he would talk about how great he is, and then the match with Neville when he won the Cruiserweight title, he hit 2 moves, and other than that got beaten alive the whole match and just fluked his way into a win.
And see, I don't like that either when wrestlers claim to be all that when they got a fluke win. And I know that's scripted. I know that.
Right.
And I get that. But it kind of ruins it as a fan to get behind somebody who says, oh, they're better than this person, that person, all they did was get lucky.
Yeah, I mean, I like it that way just because it's a good way for a heel to get heat, really.
But a good heel can get heat just by coming off the curtain.
Yeah.
Just being you as a heel.
Yeah, I think there needs to be like some sort of delusional heels too.
Okay. Maybe.
But if Enzo and Cass do end up going back to NXT, which doesn't appear like it's going to happen, but if it does, thinking about where they fit in, and I don't like fully keep up with NXT, and I know you don't at all, but they still have the Street Profits there, and Undisputed Era, are the main guys there. I think if they brought in Enzo and Cass, that they could fit in NXT.
I mean, it might do both Enzo and Cass good to go back to NXT.
Yeah,
because they kind of, I don't know if it's how it happened or not, but it seemed like they got rushed up to the main roster.
Yeah, maybe a little. And
it almost seemed just like they weren't ready for it.
But that's the thing, though, is that now NXT is the main roster.
Now, yeah.
It's
as of next week.
Yeah, next couple weeks. So, bringing them back in that environment, and, I'm sure the Full Sail crowd will love to see them, and I think it's an environment that they could dance it, I think.
They could. I think they should, if they do come back, they should come back like they did, like they came out before.
Yeah.
Don't change anything. Come out like you did before.
Yes.
Because you can't teach that.
And I think they're definitely at their best together. Like, it's best for both of them.
Oh, yeah. We saw them when they weren't together, and they both sucked.
Yeah. And even after they both left WWE, they had a whole falling out and didn't talk to each other.
Yeah. That could be a reason they get back together, is they both get re-signed to NXT.
Yeah.
Just for the storyline purpose.
And that situation, I thought, was Enzo being a dick, too. Because he told the story that the thing that had that caused their falling out was, if you remember the Raw, where Enzo and Cass fought in like a street fight or something. And it was when Cass tore his knee. I think he tore an ACL.
Mm-hmm.
And, he tried to finish the match. And I remember it vividly. Like, he tried to finish and does, like, the power slam and tries to do the big elbow that he does. But he ends up collapsing and can't do it. And they call the match off.
Yeah.
And Enzo was the one pissed off that they didn't finish the match.
Yeah.
Because, his whole idea was that, when Austin broke his neck, he still rolled up Owen Hart's.
But a broken neck doesn't necessarily mean you're going to feel pain all over.
Well, it didn't. He was paralyzed.
Well, yeah. Therefore, he wouldn't feel the pain. Like he would if he tore an ACL. You're going to feel that.
But he couldn't... I get what you're saying. It's a different thing. But, he was paralyzed and couldn't move for a good few minutes.
Yeah. But... look at McMahon. Pulled both his quads just getting into the ring. He couldn't even stand up, but you expect somebody who tore the ACL to finish a match?
Yeah.
Now,
it was very unfair.
I mean, Triple H, when he tore his pec at the tag match. I think that was his pec that he tore?
Yes.
He didn't do much after that.
Right, he was still in it.
He was in it. They didn't call it, but it was a tag match. So Michaels took the blunt of everything.
And you could go to the other one with Triple H was when he tore his quad, and that tag match with Jericho in it.
I mean, depending on what rips and tears, depends on the pain level.
Yeah.
And it depends
and the
on
other
the person.
thing is that now, today, they're just going to stop it.
Yeah, today they'll stop. They don't want to risk any further injury.
Yeah.
And I can't argue that.
Right.
I can't argue against that.
Yeah, exactly. So
I'd rather see them forfeit a match and let them get help and redo that match a few months down the road than have some star get permanently injured and never wrestle again, like Paige.
Yeah, I agree. But I guess that's all there really is to say on the Enzo and Cass thing.
We'll keep you posted.
I'm assuming that it's not going to happen at this point, but I mean, who knows?
Never say never with WWE.
That if it doesn't happen now, I feel like it will happen eventually.
I think it will in time. If not both of them, one of them.
Yeah.
And probably Cass more than Enzo.
Alright, so, you want to try to re-pick our King of the Ring.
Who's left in it?
We have 8 guys remaining.
Okay.
And we'll go the same way we did last time. Samoa Joe will go up against Ricochet on Raw. I got Ricochet.
I've got to have Ricochet. Joe's just a big enhancement person.
Yeah.
He doesn't win much.
No.
When it counts.
Ricochet will probably get a surprise roll-up, and then Joe will have the shocked, angry face.
And then put him in the clutch afterwards.
Yeah. The Joe MO. But,
or he'll put him in the clutch and Ricochet will roll over backwards and get the pin while in the clutch.
Yeah.
We've seen that before.
That's the other finish.
Yeah.
Cedric Alexander against Baron Corbin is the other one.
I want to shoot for Cedric, but at the same time, I think Corbin.
I'm going with Cedric, but I totally see them doing Corbin.
Because I can't see... There's a lot of faces left.
Yeah.
Not a lot of heels. And you're not going to have the finals with a heel and a heel or a face and face. You wouldn't think.
I would like them to just do face, but...
I would too, but you don't... I mean, you don't see it.
Right. And so, for one, if they rob us of Cedric Alexander versus Ricochet...
Oh, God.
To give us Baron Corbin versus Ricochet again.
And that's true, since we've already seen it, we may not see it again.
Like, I can tell you that match is going to just be like, Corbin dominates 80% of the match, and then Ricochet has his comeback.
And wins.
If you do Cedric versus Ricochet, it'll just be all over the place.
You're going to tear that place down.
And so, I have a theory with Cedric, too, is that the King of the Ring is going to finish at Clash of Champions.
Yes.
Clash of Champions is in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Is it really?
Yes.
I didn't know this, and we could have got tickets.
We could have, but...
I didn't even know.
I don't even really want to go. I mean, we still can. They're still there.
Well, it's too late now. All the good ones are taken.
But...
I would have loved to go, man. Just because it's so close.
Nah, but...
I didn't say I was taking you. I'm just saying I would have liked to go.
But, yeah, Cedric is from Charlotte, North Carolina.
A lot, along with a lot of WWE stars.
Yeah. Cedric Alexander, just to say it, was trained by the same school I went to for 3 months.
George?
Yeah. George South trained Cedric Alexander. I wasn't there at the same time, so I never met Cedric.
Yeah. Yeah, Cedric was already in NXT when you went.
Yeah, I think he was in the Cruiserweight Classic at that point.
Or something, yeah. He was already on TV.
Yeah.
But that's cool to say that you went to the same school that Cedric did.
Yeah, Cedric, Tessa Blanchard, a few others, but...
And you actually met Tessa, didn't you? What was that? Who was that one that you met?
I don't think I met anyone.
I thought you met that... Oh, you met that one girl that was supposed to go against Rousey and then got canceled.
Yeah, she was supposed to be an extra for a Raw thing, but didn't end up happening.
Okay.
But, off track. But either way, I think that there's something to Cedric being in the final in Charlotte. And if you really want to get someone over, if you have Cedric win in his hometown... I feel like you could make a star there. If
their goal is to push Cedric, then yes, I would agree 100%. Put him through, let him win in Charlotte, in his hometown. I mean, it'll be a huge pop for one, and he's a hometown hero, along with half the roster. But he's a hometown hero. Yeah. So, I mean, I could see him doing it if they're going to push him. But if they don't plan on pushing him, I mean, obviously they're not going to let him get past Corbin.
Right. It's just like Corbin doesn't need to go any further. Corbin's had
not
enough.
Main event material.
Like, Corbin has been pushed as far as he will go.
He's been pushed, I'm not going to say nonstop, but he's been pushed a lot in the past few years. Yeah. More than most. So, he doesn't need another push. Give it to somebody who deserves it. Who hasn't had a push yet, like Cedric.
Yeah. On the SmackDown side, we have Chad Gable versus Andrade. Chad Gable, who is short, if you didn't know.
Nuh-uh, he's vertically challenged.
He's Shorty G.
Shorty G.
As apparently might be his new name. But
wow.
I have Andrade winning. Even though like it would make more sense for Gable to win if they're really setting him up as calling him the underdog of the tournament.
But now you're rooting for two different people. You're going for Cedric and Gable.
Right. I mean, there's other guys too, like Ali and Ricochet.
Now, I wouldn't mind seeing Cedric and Andrade in the finals.
Yeah.
That would be a good match.
It would be.
As long as you keep Zelina in the back. I want a fair final match.
Yeah.
I mean, we've already been screwed with Kevin Owens and Shane.
Yes.
So we don't need to get screwed anymore on this tournament. So I think Andrade versus Cedric would be a great final.
So you're going to go with Andrade over Gable?
Yeah.
Alright, so then we have Elias versus Ali.
And that's the other issue, Ali. Because they could be wanting to push him because he had to forego his spot earlier.
Yeah.
So they could be trying to make it up and trying to push him to win the King of the Ring.
Right.
It's not a title, but
he was supposed to have the match with Nakamura at
along
Clash of Champions too.
Last year?
No, this year.
Oh.
Because he beat Nakamura in the non-title match.
Oh, yeah.
And then nothing happened, and they just used Miz instead.
Yeah. I don't know.
See, I totally feel like Elias is going to win just because they seem to be back on that train again of Elias.
I hope not. I'm getting tired of the same thing.
Pairing with Shane.
I'm getting tired of the same thing.
But I'm going to pick Ali anyway. Just because I want this tournament to actually be good.
Yeah, so let's go with Ali.
And if the final matches are Ali versus Andrade and Cedric versus Ricochet on each side,
I wouldn't be.
Then that's going to get us excited going into the final of the tournament.
Yeah, because I wouldn't care who wins. The final's going to be good.
Yeah.
It don't matter who it is of the four people. It's going to be a great match.
All right, so my Raw side would be Cedric versus Ricochet, which I'm going to roll with the Cedric train.
Okay.
And yours would be Baron Corbin versus Ricochet.
Yeah. Yeah.
So would you have Ricochet or Corbin? Are you going for King Corbs?
No, I'm going for King Rico.
Okay. So, then...
But I'm picturing Ricochet versus Andrade in the finals. That's what I'm picturing.
Yeah, they could definitely do that.
I think it'd be a hell of a match.
Then, on both of our sides, we have Ali versus Andrade.
Yeah.
So you have Andrade?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Ali.
I have to. I can't picture him putting two faces or two heels together.
Yeah, I'm going to roll with Ali, and they could... My final would be Cedric versus Ali, which is something they've done before. It was actually a WrestleMania match.
A pre-show match?
Yeah, for the Cruiserweight title.
Okay.
So, I'll roll with that, and I'll have Cedric winning the whole thing.
Okay, I'll go with Rico and Andrade with Ricochet winning.
Alright, so there's our repicks.
Something we don't agree on. Hey, we agree on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to see we're breaking out of that. Disagreeing a little more.
Yeah. Well, this whole thing is difficult to predict.
It is.
And I feel like somehow both of us are going to be wrong, and it's going to be... It'll end up being Baron Corbin versus Elias.
No, it won't, because Elias is going to get hurt, and Shane's going to come in and take his spot.
But could you imagine if they have all these guys in this tournament and they make Baron Corbin and Elias the final?
You know how pissed that audience is going to be at home and in the studio and in the crowd? Yeah. Oh my god. I can't imagine.
Yeah.
Because
that would be awesome.
I guarantee you if it's like that, I'll turn it off. I won't care who wins, so I'll just turn it off.
Alright, now that we got that done, we'll...
I still don't like the tournament, though.
I
don't like the way they're doing it.
This last week has been good.
I just wish they did it like they did before. The whole thing was in one pay-per-view night.
Yeah.
That was the pay-per-view. There was no other matches. It was just King of the Ring.
You know what? I'm actually glad we segued into this because I had an idea that I thought about.
Okay.
And I was thinking, like, what if instead of a King of the Ring, we did a March Madness? And It wouldn't be in March because like that's going into Mania.
Yeah.
It could be anywhere. But the college basketball thing is you have a 64-team tournament, and WWE employs like 1,500 wrestlers
just in the U.S.
Yeah, so getting a 64-person bracket and then doing it across Raw, NXT, UK,
and you could go as far as
house shows,
taking a tag team, and there's 2 spots.
Yeah,
if they wanted to go singles wise,
right. And you could have that play out like over a whole month, and you
have it play out longer than that.
I think you could do it in a month if you do it at all.
Well, you gotta look. March Madness plays a lot more than 1 game a day.
Yeah, but you could also go. You could have multiple matches on one show, and you could have. That like a lot of them at the house shows too.
Well, that's true, but they'd have to have
at least the first round matches.
Yeah, the first round matches would be okay at house shows for some of them. You'd have to show footage of it, during the show. They'd have to show okay, what happened or something like that.
I would imagine that would be like a nightmare to actually put together logistically, to sit down and
just putting together SmackDown's a nightmare.
Yeah, that's true.
So really, what's the big deal?
Well, what's going to happen when they have the whole first round booked and Vince McMahon walks in and goes, "God damn it!
Well,
I hate it."
Well, tell him to call a timeout and go sit on the bench with his XFL league.
I hate tournaments.
He hates tournaments, but what's going on right now? King of the Ring tournament.
Yeah.
I just don't like how it's all separated. Now, the way you describe, I think it'd be great.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
Get a crap load of people from both brands, all 3 brands, my bad.
And some of them, you could do them as network specials, too.
It could just be a network special.
Yeah.
The whole thing could be a network special.
Yeah, and
that way you don't take up TV time for something like that.
Yeah. And, you could do that throughout, the first round, and once you get closer to the end, you can have them more on TV. And
now, once you get, to the quarterfinals and then the semifinals, yeah, that should be on TV. But, the first couple, 2-3 rounds, leave it on the network. Let the big matches make it to the TV, or house shows, preferably TV.
Yeah. And
the final would take place at a pay-per-view.
It would. I think that would give the network more value.
Well, it doesn't have any right now, so I'd agree. The most value it has is the catalog from other companies.
Yeah. Alright. Now that we have that out of the way, we will go on our last topic of the day.
Oh, I thought that was the last one.
No, we have one more. It was advertised from the venue that Hell in a Cell will be participating in, that the Fiend Bray Wyatt will be challenging for the Universal title against either Braun Strowman or Seth Rollins.
So the advertisement didn't say who it was against?
No, it just said whoever.
I figured they were good. I thought they'd spoil it.
No.
Because it has before.
But not only was this just posted on the venue's website, they also posted it on their own Twitter. So it seems like they might have let things out too early, but
or they're hoaxing you.
Yeah.
I hope it's not true because it's too early. And we talked about this before we came on the air.
Yeah, we both agree that it's too early for Bray to challenge for the Universal title.
He's had 1 match.
Yeah.
And then he's going to come in. Who the hell does he think he is? Charlotte Flair? She is the only one that can come in with 1 or no matches and declare and get a title match.
Right. So, the other thing with this is, if he challenges for the title, he has to win.
Oh, yeah.
There's no way around it. And it's something that I can compare it to. And funny enough, it also happened at Hell in a Cell. Was, if you remember, when Ryback was being built up, and he had the huge undefeated streak, and then they decided to put him against CM Punk in Hell in a Cell for the title. But then they booked themselves into a corner, as they say, and they came in a situation where, well, we don't want Punk to lose the title because we're going to have him drop it to the Rock or whatever.
Yeah.
But we've also put all this time in Ryback going on this year-long undefeated streak.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't want to have him lose either. So what did they end up doing? they ended up with Brad Maddox becoming the crooked referee and low-blowing Ryback and letting CM Punk roll him up.
Yeah, so he still got the win and saved the title, and it didn't hurt Ryback because it was a low blow.
In theory, it didn't hurt Ryback.
Yeah.
But it showed that, and this is the thing I talk about a lot, too, with, like, guys like the Viking Raiders, what they did with them in the tag team turmoil is something I brought up recently.
That was a joke.
Is that there are certain guys that they push to a certain extent, but they don't want to go all the way with them.
Yeah.
And it just tells us, and it's apparent with things like the Viking Raiders thing, where it's clear, like, we don't want them to lose, but we also don't want them to be champions. Yeah. And I believe firmly, you either go all the way, or you don't.
If you're going to push them, push them.
Yeah, if you want to push them to the top.
Do what they did with Kofi. When the people wanted it, the people got it.
Yeah.
And look, I mean, I'm not saying it was easy to get, and there was a lot of bitching, especially on my part. But still, we got it.
Right.
So, give the people what they want and don't just tease them. It doesn't help anybody. It doesn't help the Viking experience or the Viking Raiders or whatever the hell they are this year.
Yeah.
So, just make up your mind. Push them or don't, but don't just give them a little shove and go, okay, well, that's as far as you're going to go. You can't go no further.
Yeah. And I'll say this, like, if they're putting Bray into this match and just thinking, like, oh, we'll put him in the main event, and, you know, hopefully it'll generate some interest and we can sell some more tickets, whatever. And they don't have a plan on what they're actually going to do. If they actually want to put the title on Bray, then they've already fucked it up.
Yeah.
Because even if he wins, I'll still think it was too early, and I still think it would be better if you built him up, gaining wins month after month.
Not just wins, but even just sudden appearances to take somebody out.
Yeah.
And I don't mean just legends that can't defend themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I want to see him come out and take out Bobby Lashley. Just like that.
Right.
You know, prove you're dominant. Don't just go wear a mask and, you know, come out in the dark and use another stolen move from Mick Foley. I mean, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and I love the Fiends, and I think the majority of people really love the Fiend character now.
Oh, I don't have anything against the character.
Right.
Not at all. I don't even have a problem with how they're using them. Unless they're going to push.
They do this.
Unless they do this. They need to build it up, and like I said off the air, Royal Rumble would be a good time for him to win the title. Because he could have a few months of reign until WrestleMania when he goes against the winner of the Rumble. Mm-hmm. Which could be anybody.
Yeah. I mean, I would rather they build up to him winning at Mania.
And I'd be okay with that.
But either way, I think it's too early here. And, you know, it's worth taking this with a grain of salt of whether it's actually going to happen because cards subject to change.
And we've seen it before where they do that just to get people to buy tickets.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. It would not be unlike WWE to leak something like that to generate interest in buying tickets and then not do it.
I just saw on Cage Side that they announced Stone Cold for the September 9th.
The Garden Show. Because ticket sales are less, like half sold. Yeah. And
the SmackDown episode is less than that.
Yeah.
See, they're going to announce shit just to get people to buy tickets.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'll, card subject to change, sorry.
Yep. It says it at the bottom.
Yeah, and I mean, everybody knows it. Anything can happen. Look, like Moxley.
Yeah.
But when you're trying to go like 2 months ahead of time and promote a title match with somebody that really, I'm going to say, just started with The Fiend.
Yeah.
You're just doing that for ticket sales. You're not going to have that match. And if you are, then you're crazy as hell.
Yeah. And, like, what I would like to just see happen is the Fiend go against Taker again. Because Undertaker is going to be at the Garden Show. I think it would be good.
You want to see a Taker match.
I do.
That's crazy, because you never want to see a Taker match.
And it's not even for, like, the part of Undertaker actually wrestling. It's for the... It would be a way to avenge one of the major missteps from Bray's old self. Was when he lost to Undertaker.
Okay.
And the other one was when he lost to John Cena, too.
Yeah.
Both at WrestleMania.
But we all know John Cena's not going to wrestle again.
Yeah, at least not anytime soon.
At least not while he's making movies.
But, yeah, you remember the whole storyline with him and Undertaker was that Bray was the proclaiming that he's the new face of fear.
Yep.
And I think that's when his character started to change more into the Undertaker-esque character rather than the cult leader that he started off as. It'd
almost be a passing of the torch, really.
Right.
One phenom to another.
I mean, you think about it, like the entrances will last 10 minutes.
Each. Hell, half the pay-per-view is going to be entrances.
Yeah.
A quarter of it's going to be promo packages and videos, and then a quarter of it's going to be wrestling.
Yeah. And I could see him coming out with, like, the lantern the way he did with his face.
Oh, but with the Undertaker.
But with the Undertaker, yeah.
And I loved that lantern.
Yeah, it was awesome.
There was rumors that they were gonna not use it because they didn't show it on like some replays.
Yeah, they didn't put it on YouTube because of obviously YouTube has a lot of strict guidelines.
But I don't see what was wrong with it. I know how it could see, but I don't see why they couldn't have.
Yeah, well,
because that kind of made the entrance,
right?
And I know they showed
that was the big part too.
And I read that they showed it on the entrance, but any of the recaps they didn't show.
Yeah,
I just didn't pay attention.
Yeah, but Bray seems to be persistent that all the reports of the toning down aren't true.
Yeah, so everything I've read says the same thing.
So we'll definitely see if they change the presentation at all.
I hope not.
And because everything about the presentation and the entrance and the remake of his original theme just sounded so much better to fit the character.
I mean, I can see Taker and the Fiend doing, I'm not going to say a good match, but having a passing of the torch match.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It would be, it wouldn't be a classic. And I don't think, like, the thing with this character is that I don't think that he has to have classic matches.
No.
Because it's about the character over the
wrestler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really the same thing that Undertaker was in the 90s. Like,
yeah.
You never heard about Undertaker having classic matches until, like, the mid to late 2000s.
Yeah. His earlier matches, like, against Hogan at This Night in Texas.
Mm-hmm. It was all presentation.
Yeah. That's all it was. And there wasn't big, extravagant 30-minute intros and 30-minute entrances.
Yeah.
It was, you had like 50 feet to walk, and that was it. You don't have this 150 feet. Or longer. But back then it was great. It was all about the character. Mm-hmm. No one cared about the match because of what was happening with the characters.
Yeah, it was the story.
Yeah. Good old days.
Yeah. Well, on that note, I think we're about ready to wrap up here.
Yeah, I think that's about it.
But we somehow managed to record this show and go an hour. We've been here for like 2 hours, but...
yeah, right at.
Oh my goodness.
Only took an hour to get going.
The wonders of technology.
Gotta love it and hate it at the same time.
Next week we're going to be recording into tin cans.
Might sound better.
Yeah. But... I'll be on the YouTube channel. Be sure you're subscribed. Enhancement Talent Podcast, links in the description. And we'll be on. I'll be on the YouTube channel Saturday nights for the AEW All Out review. I'll also be there Monday and Tuesday for the Raw and SmackDown review. And then we will be back here on the podcast next Thursday to get Chris's opinions on everything that came from that week. Whatever we have to talk about.
You figure we'll have AEW, we'll have Crappy Night Raw, and SmackDown.
Yeah. I mean, by then the semifinals should be set for the King of the Ring.
Yeah, so we'll have a better idea how wrong we are.
Maybe we could repick it the third
We'll have to repick it every week until the finals.
But, thank you all for listening. And until next time,
we will wrestle you later.